Time travel. We've all thought about it. It's pretty cool. While we can't time travel yet, at least not that we know of, we can manipulate the speed at which time flows. In fact, what if I told you that you're already doing it without even knowing?
Hey, Scott!
This is where our perception comes in. Whatever we perceive in this world isn't what's necessarily real. It's all unique to each of us. This was made ever so evident in tests like the blue dress, yes, it's blue, or the YANNY versus LAUREL test.
I hear Kofefi.
A similar variance occurs in our perception of time. Perhaps you noticed it while watching your favorite show as a child.
Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
Or when taking a day trip. All these things seem to go so much faster than when you were just a little creature in diapers. Fortunately, just like with any question I'll ever ask in my life, somebody has already asked this question before, and so there are some popular theories. The first theory was called proportion theory, proposed by Paul Janet in 1877. The basic premise of this theory is that as you get older, time periods occupy a smaller percentage of your life. For example, 1 year is half a year for a 2-year-old, while for a 10-year-old it's only 10%. Because of this, 1 year will go by a lot slower for the younger 2-year-old. But what about the science stuff? Well, on the science side of things, there are actually a lot of biological theories. Some claim that since children's hearts, metabolisms, and breathing tend to be faster than an adult's, their body clocks, per se, will go through more cycles than an adult's, thus resulting in a seemingly longer day. Obviously, I oversimplified it, but this is YouTube, not the National Institute of Health. Adding on to biological theories, the psychologist Hudson, I'm just going to call him Hudson, proposed the body temperature theory in the 1930s. Granted, he's a bit of a nutcase since he used his feverish wife as a test subject.
Here's Johnny!
But in doing so, he found that the higher her temperature went, the slower time went, and the colder she got, the faster time went. He then went on to experiment on students by placing them in chambers at 65 degrees Celsius with heated helmets. Yep, heat stroke is the key to time travel. Even though he wasn't arrested, he did find that raising a body's temperature could slow down their sense of time by up to 20%. Add that to the fact that children tend to have a higher body temperature than adults anyway, and it all starts to make just a bit of sense. But obviously I've been harping on about perception for a while here, so there must be a perception theory, right? Well, there is. This theory was made by psychologist Robert Ornstein in the 1960s. In a nutshell, he believes that the speed of our perception is dependent on the amount and the complexity of information we have to absorb at once. In a series of experiments, Ornstein played tapes to volunteers with various kinds of sound information on them, such as simple clicking sounds and household noises. At the end, he asked them to estimate how long they had listened to the tape for, and found that when there was more information on the tape, like double the noises, the volunteers estimated the time period to be longer. He did a similar test with the complexity of information by showing different drawings and paintings and got a similar response. Maybe this is why your favorite song or movie is a lot shorter on the 100th viewing. You need to watch some new
Dude, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizards.
Since children are so new to the world, this would also explain why they perceive things slower. There's just too much new information for the kids. Maybe this is why maths class was always the slowest. On the flip side, adults have a habit of going through the same routine every day. And maybe this is why time just seems to fly by. So what do you think? Should we be burning ourselves so that we can live longer? Or maybe just keep trying new experiences? I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. And I'll see you in—
Wait. Tell them to share the video too.
Okay, fine. Share this video. Don't worry, your friends will only judge you slightly.